Okay, everyone. Just getting our stream live here for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. We're going to go do a fire mission. I just got to get all the stuff set up here. I guess I didn't remember to do my audio settings. I got to do that now. Okay. All right, we're just getting the VR headset here figured out. There we go. That looks good to me. And we'll accept the mission. This is the Air Tractor AT-802. Apparently, it's the largest aircraft with a single engine, and it can produce 4,000 foot-pounds of torque at the propeller. Yes, this is a real plane. They use them down in the U.S. for agricultural stuff like spraying fields and for firefighting as well. Just going to check my aircraft, make sure that our fuel is good. I usually try to keep it up around 3/4, so I'll bring it up to around there. It doesn't need to be full. Go back. Oh, let's go to maintenance and give it a wash. And it's been 3 hours since I last did maintenance on it. It says you can go to 24 hours. I find that around 3-4 hours you're starting to probably have stuff going wrong with it. Although in this case it seems to be good, which is fine. Just want to make sure. And then we go to fly mission. Just, let's see here. Okay, we're just going to get in the aircraft here and start the engine. It looks like kind of bad weather over that direction. We're probably taking off that way, so we're not going to be flying into it. I'm just going to check. Oh yeah, I was wondering about that. I don't have audio for the game. Okay, I gotta check some settings here real quick so that you guys can hear the game. Where's my mouse? There it is. Let's go. Audio source and headphones. Josh is. Oh, it's already there. It's just not doing it right, I guess. Oh, there we have audio. Yeah, good. Awesome. We have audio. Okay, and I'm just going to reset my view again. Got to get back in here into the game and reset my view. There we go. Announce that we're taking off.
6 Foxtrot Lima
over there,
0
so I'm just
traffic.
taking off the parking
November
brake
4,
now.
5330 is taxiing
And they
to
want us to
runway
hold
19.
short.
6 Foxtrot
So
Lima 0.
I'm gonna just turn. I'm assuming we're taking off that way. It only makes sense that we would be. So I'm trying to set myself up for that. Hold short. Oh, maybe I went too far. Announce it. And then
6
it'll
Foxtrot
probably
Lima
tell me.
0
Yeah, I'm
traffic.
right on the airport.
November 45330. Taking off runway 19. Departure to the east. 6 Foxtrot Lima 0.
So I'm just using my right brake and right rudder to basically move the aircraft in place, and it's asking us to enter the runway. I'm just trying to get the plane actually lined up here on the runway real quick. Okay, then we're doing one set. Maybe I'll do 2 sets of flaps. I think I'll make it. I think I'll make it with 1 set. I'll be okay. Just setting my propeller pitch here. Brake is on, and I'm giving it as much throttle before I get an over torque. So I'm just waiting for all of the gauges to come up to where they need to be. And it actually is wanting to move already anyways. So we're just going to take off. Here we go. Try to get up to about 60 knots on the ground here. Airspeed is alive. 40 knots, 50. I can almost take off now, probably. I'm just going to wait a little bit longer. 60, yeah, 60, 60. Pull back on the yoke here. And stalling, that's what that beep was. We're heading into a stall. I just need to get above these branches before I hit them. Good. That was close. Woo! Close to the branches. And I'm just going to retract my landing gear here. So you can see that. Maybe. Probably not, actually, but just going to... Okay, so we're in the air, 94 knots. Putting my flaps up now. Wants us to climb to 850 feet, which we're at 750. So, just heading this direction.
To the fire front 28 north, 81 west. JC Firefighting Ltd. You're on your own with ATGS. I'll be a challenge, but it will make it easier for the rest of the team to focus on the other hotspots. After dumping your payload, you can reload at the water source marked on your map. If the fire spreads, it'll be a disaster for critters and birds.
We don't want any disasters.
Ltd. We're counting on you to hold the line. Over.
Nautical miles. I think that's what that means, nautical miles. I don't actually know, because the naut is actually spelled with a K, so I just think it's weird, but I don't actually know. And I'm just gonna try to... I feathered the prop to give it more bite. I'm gonna give it a little bit more throttle, keeping an eye on my gauges. I don't want to over torque it or over too much speed. And then we just head for the fire. Tank is the water tank is 50% full. If I miss the fire, I will have a refill in one of these lakes over here, but I expect that I'll probably get it. It should be fine. Look at those clouds, eh? Just blasting up into the sky. So for hardware, for doing all of this stuff here, I'm using a PC, an i7 processor, 3090 graphics card, liquid cooled for the processor, for the main processor, but not for the graphics card. Graphics card is fan cooled. I'm using another computer to do all the streaming. So like one computer's doing all of the game processing and one computer's just doing all the streaming. And I'm sending the video feed over from the game computer to my laptop using NDI, Network Device Interface. It's a fairly nice protocol to send video from one source to another over a network. The graphics are set to Ultra on the game, and it takes up about 10 gigs of video RAM to run it at Ultra settings. As far as the headset goes, I'm using the Meta Quest 3 VR with an extended battery. Everything is all wireless. I've got a Wi-Fi 7 router running all of the wireless. Still 11 nautical miles out. You can see the sunspots on the ground. I think that's pretty cool that they're able to do that in this game. To me, this game looks relatively... It's not 100% realistic, obviously, but I'd give it a 70 out of 100. It's pretty good. So for flight yoke, I'm using Velocity 1 yoke for flight controls. I wouldn't recommend it. I've had it for probably about maybe a month and a half now, and I'm not happy with it. It's cheap. Sorry about that, guys. I know my plane's starting to take off. With this plane here, you have to my phone was going off there, so I wanted to deal with that. You actually have to like kind of push your yoke forward, and like this plane obviously has a flight stick, but I'm using a yoke to control it like in real life. But with this plane, like once you get up over like 110 knots, it wants to climb, and you have to continually be bringing the nose back down. I'm sure you can, like, I'm sure that the professionals would be able to tell me exactly how to set this up so that it's flying, level at these higher speeds. But even with me trying to trim it out, it still wants to climb. So I don't even really bother trimming it anymore. I just fly it the way it is and keep having to force the nose back down. It's fine, whatever. I get the job done. I'm sure that I mean, hey, if there's a pilot out there that's watching this that's actually flown one of these planes and wants to tell me how I'm supposed to fly it, that's great, man. I'd love to know. I watched some YouTube videos on how people fly these things, and I'm doing pretty much what they say. So I don't know. They haven't really talked about trimming it out and all that kind of stuff and how it handles at higher speeds, though. They were just telling you how to like take off, you know, dump your payload and all that kind of stuff. So I wonder what that is over there. It's quite a weird looking lake. Maybe it's just cloud cover and it just looks weird. Well, we can see our fire in the distance there. So what I generally do is I'll fly basically until these like direction boxes or whatever you want to call them, they disappear. And then as soon as they disappear, then I throttle pretty much right back, throw in all of my flaps, and then I just dive bomb the fire. Like it's a slow dive bomb, but basically I just try to keep the plane at around 110 knots, descending towards the fire, dump my payload over the fire, and then as soon as I've dumped the payload, I just bring the plane's throttle back up to you know, full throttle as I can get it without over torquing the motor. Start getting back up into the air, and then take my flaps back out. So like I said, slowing the aircraft down now, waiting for my airspeed to get to safe where I can drop my flaps. Dropping flaps. You can see the flaps going down here. That looks like full flaps right there, and then bring the throttle back in because we're losing airspeed. I'm at like 89 knots there, and I want to be at about 110. So gonna now head down towards the fire, giving it more throttle. In fact, I'm gonna bring back get higher prop RPM, so just take out some of the feather in the prop there. So I got about 3/4 throttle. I'm almost to yellow in the warning on the gauge there for the throttle, and coming in a little bit too fast, so bringing back the throttle. I want to try to be at 110, so we're losing speed here again. 112, heading right for the fire. Pretty steep dive bomb right now, and then starting to level it off a little bit, and then opening my tanks now, making sure I don't hit the trees. And then now I brought my throttle back in. Oh, see how I don't want to over torque it? Yeah, I'm over torquing. I don't want to over torque. And then yeah, I figured it would crush it. Then just bring my flaps back up. You can see my flaps are now back up again. And just trying to get back up into the air again. I will feather my prop a little bit just to have more bite in the air here as I'm heading back to the airport, and then just fly back to the airport and land and park it, and away we go. We're good. That's it. I'm gonna bring the prop speed down, get more bite, see if we get a little bit more speed, some airspeed, but we'll see. Bring up the throttle a bit. Yeah, we're almost to over torque on the gauges. this motor or engine, I don't want to call it a motor, but this engine has enough power to break the drive line to the propeller. And I'm sure there's a pilot out there that's going to tell me it's not a drive line. Yeah, I know. I don't know anything about this kind of stuff. I know enough to be dangerous. If I was in a pickle, I could probably fly a plane. Could I do it well? No. Should people get out of my way? Most definitely. Doing about 140 knots here. This is pretty much its top speed. You can get it to go faster, of course, but it likes to just kind of settle in at 140 knots. Sure is dark clouds over that way, man. Can you imagine flying into that? I'd want to know my how to fly IFR for sure. Instrument flying rules. Everybody's googling around off to work, I guess. I don't know. I wonder what road this is. This is like, I don't know the U.S. very well, and I don't actually know what state this is, but this is like, I'm gonna assume this is kind of like New York area, you know, that eastern United States, southern eastern United States, because this is kind of down in that area. It might be Florida. I don't know. I'd have to look. Basically, I just brought this plane here to do fire missions because everywhere else was in the middle of winter, and they were trying to get me to land on frozen lakes to put fires out, and I'm like, yeah, no. Well, basically just hand flying. I'm not using any kind of autopilot or anything like that. Just trying to keep her heading in the right direction, nice and level. I don't even know what the wind direction is. I'm sure I could probably look it all up, but I'm not going to bother. Alright, connecting to airport and announcing my position.
6 Foxtrot, Lima, 0 traffic. November 4530. 8 miles southeast, 1600, inbound to land. Runway 1, 6 Foxtrot, Lima, 0.
Oh, it's the long entry. This will be a bit. I'm not even going to touch anything until I'm like near the end of this corridor, or whatever you want to call it, these markers. Okay. I'll start slowing down here pretty soon. Bring my throttle back. Slowing down. Putting the first set of flaps in. So with your flaps, what they do is they're kind of like, they act in two ways. They're kind of like a speed brake. They slow the aircraft down because they increase drag, but they also increase lift. So you can fly at slower speeds. You kind of need more power to fly at the lower speeds because you're dragging it through the air. But I'm just dropping my throttle entirely now at this point because the plane's starting to do weird things. So, and I'm dumping my landing gear. Might have issues here. We'll see. Talking too much while I'm trying to fly. So just trying to get the aircraft speed way down here, less than 100 knots. So just basically trying to bring her in nice and slow. I would bring in, let's bring in the other set. It might be really windy out there. I feel like it is because I'm really having to fight the plane right now. It doesn't want to go down, it wants to go up. So like, cause I got it on a pretty steep dive right now, and it's still wanting to lift. So that tells me we got some updrafts going on. So, but trying to slow the aircraft way down. Got my flaps full. Just trying to get her down out of the air. Really, get her down to be able to land. Slowing down and putting in a little bit of throttle. I don't want it to get too slow. That's a pretty short runway, so I'm going to probably land it and then throw it into reverse right away.
Zero traffic. November 45330 is on
I think
final.
I got plenty of room. I'll be okay.
6 Foxtrot Lima 0.
So 87 knots, 86 knots. Once I get close to the runway there, I'll drop my throttle. I've got my throttle probably. Well, I'm gonna give it a little bit of throttle just because I'm down in the 70 knot range for airspeed. So I'm just giving a little bit of throttle, maybe a quarter throttle, just enough to kind of help pull it through. I'm also changing the RPM of the throttle or the prop, speeding the prop up, but without any real power on it. And 76 knots, dropping my throttle so that I can come in. And then as soon as you get close, flaring, and then I'm just going to let the airplane kind of just drop nice and gently. It's on the ground now, and there we go. We're on the ground. And then it didn't want me to land there apparently. I might not be right on the runway, which sucks, but oh well. That means some points go missing for me, but it just says exit runway, so I can just pull off anywhere here, and it should, there you go. Stop the aircraft.
That was a real inferno today.
And then
Thanks
put the
for your
brakes
commitment,
on.
pilot.
And shut the engine down. And that's really a flight for you. I'm gonna just put the flaps back up into their normal spot, which doesn't really matter, but and that's it. That's the end of that. Let's see what our score is. I bet you it's gonna be an A score. It won't be a super score because I screwed up on my my landing there. 100%, 100%. One, undesignated on landing. So 75%. Oh, I'm still in a super though, even with all of that, because my execution time and suppression was good. And that's what it's like. And that'll give me some more credit. 196,000 credit. And some more on my reputation update. Excellent. And some more experience. And there, that's it. Okay, well, we're gonna stop her right there. I just talk to you later.